little bit too short there. Levi just works it off the hip. It's a short boundary down there towards the tennis court end. Rolled for 4. Levi opens his boundary account for the day. You think we just bun it away? Great second over here from Praveen. Cars puts that there. Any other man fielding at mid-off probably would have cut that off, but the old man Krusty has just let it roll past him for 4. So the bowler won't be happy with that, but Praveen Matthew only gone for 10 off his first 2. That's a tidy start for him. Truffy's number 22 off 4. Ooh, he's just driven that one straight. Levi Shea, she's going to go all the way. It's been slow out there all day, but it looks as though it's going to get there. This field's dried out nicely. That's gone all the way between a long on, long off. Second or third boundary for Levi there. Takes him on to 19 off 21. You got to think that's a cocky play there from Cuz Summers. He just assumed he got that one away, but a man of experience like him should always run the first 1 or 2 hard. Well, that one was hit a bit better. That's just been absolutely punished out there. Through cover, through the goalposts. That's 4 with a conversion. Third or fourth boundary now for Levi. He's starting to lift. Just moving his field slightly there. Making sure he's spot on. Flighted that one well, and yes, he's done well. That's the first 6 of the innings. Cuz Summers, he's managed to just chip it over an Alex Polglace out there at deep square leg. He's cleared the boundary by a couple of metres out there. And he's worked that one, just picked it. It looks like it's a 1 bounce 4, or has it gone over square? He's called a 6 to finish the 10. So that gets him to 61 at the turn, the Troughrocks. Krusty's probably pretty happy with that. We're now transitioning to the easier to score from, bowling from the tennis court end. But hopefully you can see a little bit better there at home. Truffy's number 61 off 10. 2 set batsmen. You got to hope they go here. Captain Krusty brings himself back on his second over after only going through 8 on his first over. Cuz hits it straight down mid-wicket, and that's the end of Kyle Summers, gone for 21 off 19 balls. Captain Krusty gets the wicket. It was time to go for Cuz Summers there. Gordon. John Patel on strike. And he has just hit straight to the short end. 1 bounce, or might have just got over. It's hard to tell with Krusty's fielding because he's probably one of the worst fielders in the comp, despite being a great bowler. So that's a 6. Umpire Rob Hayter, one of the most experienced umpires in Australian and World LMS, yet to make an incorrect decision. One of the greats he's clearly has tried to master over the years for whichever team I'm playing for at the time. Free hit coming up. What has Al Polglace got with the ball here? It was not bad, but a bit too short. And Levi Shea, for just his second 6 of the innings, has worked it backward of square leg. Takes himself to 49 off 42. Krusty doing the chasing, which you've got to think is going to take a while over there towards the lakeside. A few camera tripod issues here today, but nothing that the Fox Sports digital team won't help us out with. All right, back to it. Al Polglace with his second legal ball over coming up here. What's he got? Levi on 49. And he goes big out to mid-wicket. Is he going to get caught? No, that's over his head. He finishes with 2 sixes. Levi Shaish to go 55 off 43. He's got himself into the sheds. That's what the Troughrocks needed. In comes skipper Benny Keogh, number 4. And Jai Patel, just absolute class. He has just planted the foot slightly outside leg and just punted that over the long on boundary for 6. Second maximum for Jai Patel. Takes him to 18 off 7. This is the kind of knock Truffies need here to try and get themselves to a defender. Exactly what I would do myself. He's just stolen that free hit off Captain Benny Keogh, but he's probably the informed batsman here. That was just a nasty full one from Rob Leschke. Can he get back to his line length here? And it was pretty good, but it was a little bit too full, and it's just cleared that wide long on boundary for another 6. So that's 5 sixes in the last 9 balls for Truffies. They're starting to lift. Jai Patel 26 off 10, but he still just thread the needle. I don't think it's rolled for 4. Has it pulled up? It is damp out there. The batters are running. They're coming back for 2. And they've just called umpire Rob Hayter just making a decisive call as he does so well. That's a 4 there for Jai Patel. Takes him to 30 off 11. Rob Leschke, number 24 of his 1.3. And another umpire Rob Hayter just making a decisive call as he does so well. That's a 4 there for Jai Patel. Takes him to 30 off 11. Rob Leschke, number 24 of his 1.3. And another fully that's been put almost into the lake. That is every LMS player's dream, that a fully on your hip. So Jai Patel goes 36 off 12. This is the innings Truffies needed. It's the usual play from Truffies. They like to change up their keepers and get everyone bowling a couple of different overs. But we got Benny Keogh on strike here. Skip. He's only faced 2 balls. He's on 3. He's building nicely. It wasn't a bad opening ball from Hunterfield. Benny Keogh was good enough just to thread the needle there through cover for a cheeky 4 to start proceedings. Fortunately, a couple of thick clouds right above the sun again here, making conditions quite dark. Cheeky 4 to start proceedings. Fortunately, a couple of thick clouds right above the sun again here, making conditions quite dark. Hopefully you can see at home a little bit better than I can see on the broadcast screen here. And Benny Keogh, that is just a 1-hit slap. It's just short of the car park end. So this is what the skip wants. Takes him to 13 off 4 balls, supporting Jai Patel at the other end after the opening innings was stable, but probably slowish. This is what the Truffies needed here. Really got to lift their run rate. The opening innings was stable, but probably slowish. This is what the Truffies needed here. Really got to lift their run rate. Short ball there. Just delicately helped around the corner to backward square leg, and it's rolled for 4. So Hunter Phillips, not a great start to his over here. He was preparing himself to bowl to Jai Patel, but he's come up against the rampaging Truffies captain here in Benny Keogh, who's gone 4. Praveen Matthew getting this Krusty's bowling innings back on track here after a couple of expensive overs. And is that going to be caught down to long on? And, oh, he's dropped it over the boundary. Adam Boston. Benny Keogh didn't quite get hold of that one. Praveen was hoping that was going to be his first wicket of the innings, but looks as though Adam Boston's just punted that one over. Boundary for a 6. Takes Benny Keogh to 20. So Jai Patel now 43. He should be. Or 41, sorry, but he's just got that one away. He's just worked that one. It's rolling down to fine leg. Is it going to get there? Yes, it's just over the boundary to take Jai Patel to 45 off 18 pills. Got to think think he's going to ease himself to another 50 here, as quality batsmen often do. That will take Jai Patel to, I think, 48. And that was just pulled down a little bit, as leggies tend to do, and Benny Keogh just pulls it straight past Krusty for a 1 bounce 4. Gets himself to 32. Great to see so many comments coming in from LMS fans around the country. It's a slog sweep attempt, but Eel Firm are pretty quick with the gloves, but I think bat was just down. Got to agree with that call there from square leg. That one, though, is absolute bread and butter for an LMS batsman. Pretty much a half-tracker pull-down leggy there, and Benny Keogh just straight over backward square. Takes him to 41 or 14. Not sure what his fastest 50 is, but if he gets there today, this has got to be up there. And that one is a fully Benny Keogh advances 1 step, belts it straight over mid-wicket for 6, takes him to 47 off 15 balls. 1 ball left in this over. So I called it 20-odd runs ago. Skipper Benny Keogh here, playing the innings of his life, loves performing. He's got 1 ball left. Can he put it away for a 3 or a 4 here to get himself home? A quicker ball from Alpole Glace, but that has just been spanked by Benny Keogh for 6 over a wide long on. Well batted, Benny Keogh. 53 off 16 balls from the skipper. That is a great knock, and it's got the Troughies well on track for 200 here after a slowish 13 off his first 2. So it's probably a good decision there from Captain Crust. Of course, Jai Patel on strike here. He's 49 off 20, so you've got to think he's back in the sheds after this ball. And there it is, straight 6 over long off. Jai Patel goes 55 off 21 balls. Well batted, Jai. So that's 2 batsmen retired in 2 balls. And that 100 there for Troughies. From those 2 batsmen, number 3 and 4, has really rocketed them towards 200 here. As I said, they were only on 60 odd at the turn. So they put on 120 here off 8 overs. In now is Wayne Singleton, experienced Troughrocks. He hasn't played too many games in recent weeks, but he's obviously back here to get some form ahead of finals next week. Chops one down onto his leg, and Glennie Schreiber calls him through. Form back. Oh, just a run out. Great piece of fielding there from Adam Boston. He's raced down here, picked up the pill. Some say a suicidal call there from Benny Schreiber. He obviously wanted to strike. We've all been there. And Wayne Singleton run out for a golden duck in the last 3 balls. One way or another. Not even sure who the next batsman is. Here he comes. Probably Casey Summers, it looks like. He's carrying a bat and a set of gloves. Doesn't look as though he's got any pads or anything else ready. But here we are. 8 balls left in the innings. It's a non-striker's end. Case, he's coming off a couple of good knocks in recent times. What a piece of fielding there from Adam Boston. We'll have to have a look at a little highlights reel there later. And Glennie Schreiber caught by Eel at keeper. That one from Adam Boston just got up a little bit too quick on him, and it kind of popped up, and the keeper's moved well to his left there, 15 or 20 metres. Like, he's moving like a 16-year-old young Eli. Right, it's usually 4, but Crust, he saves that, keeps it for 1. Great fielding from the great man. 2 balls left here. Of course, the home run's still in play. Troughies on 193. And looks as though that's just been worked off the hip. Is it going to roll for 4 past Krusty? As I just said a second ago, either side of Crust is generally 4. So Casey moves to 4 off 2. Troughies 197. Home run ball. Admittedly, he had a run of 7 relative failures before that, as I'll be happy to tell you about. But love to see him go a 4th straight 50 here today. Alpoglass facing his first bill. Cut nicely. You got to think that's racing for 4. Yeah, it is. It beats the man on the point boundary. 4 first ball for Alpoglass. That's right in his scoring zone, that. Ups keep it to 1. That one, AL Firma gets onto that one, and it's just going to get over the boundary. First 6 of the innings there. Just a tiny bit too short there from Sam Hancock. And young Eel chasing his 4th straight 50 in LMS, just rocks back. Well played there. That's just gone through a wide cover for 4. Out towards the lake. Great shot from Alpoglass. His second boundary. And he's starting to move nicely here. 11 off 7. Just a bit too short from Wayne Singleton there. We had Aldous play 6s hit on this field at this end. But of course you turn to the other end and it's free for all. So just a cheeky single there despite it being a good shot from Il Firma. That one by Alpoglass has just been blasted through the vacant point region, cover region. It's the first 4 off the Summers bowling. Alpoglass moves himself along to 21 off 14. It's the first 4 off the Summers bowling. Alpoglass moves himself along to 21 off 14. Oh, and he's bowled in Cuz Summers. He has just ripped one through. It has stayed low. It's dropped back. It's turned back, sorry. We've seen a couple of those today. There was a little bit of turn on this deck, and that's the end of the Alex Polglace innings. He was looking for his second 4 through the point region, but it was a good knock from him. That's why he's one of the best umpires in World LMS. Here's Cuz. 2 balls left in the Summers over. And there's just a nice little one. That's what every LMS batsman wants when they come out. Just a semi-half tracker turning down leg. And he's just worked it around the corner for 4 to get himself moving. Rob Leschke coming off a good 60-odd week before last. See what he can do here today for the mighty Krusty. And short of the boundary. Possibly catchable that, if the fielder had a bit of a crack. Rob Leschke, he's going to be targeting this leg side. And that ball will help him. It was a little bit over pitch there from Jai, and he gets put away for 6. Just backward of square leg. 1 ball to go in this over. Robbie Leschke, 11 off 4. So it's just the 1 for the no ball. But Il Firma refusing to take the single there to make sure he could get the free hit, which I'm also known for, so I support it. It's a much better. It wasn't a bad ball, but he's just blasted that over cover for 6. Very well dug out from the Eel. It's almost like he heard my commentary about him going a little bit too slowly there. All of a sudden, he's 28 off 20. Cuz Summers probably didn't do too much wrong there. Maybe just a little bit too full. To a little bit quicker. Beat the batsman, the keeper. Keeper's just thrown his body behind it. Stop it running away for 4. Suspect, yeah. You got to think they'll be looking at this bowling action. And that one is going to go for 4 to the short backward square leg tennis court end. So that's to finish the over. Robbie Leschke gets himself to 15 off 7. Cuz Summers 1 for 28 off his 3. Krusty's 1 for 67 off 8. So 10. Great fielding there from Glennie Schreiber. Especially after he ran out Wayne Singleton earlier. An absolute barbecue in the first innings. Well hit from Eel. You got to think that's going to roll past Singo out there for 4. It is So that's a nicely played 4. Wasn't a bad ball from Benny Care. It's probably a bit too short, but he was staying away from leg side. But Eel good enough to put it out there. Wide cover for 4. Gets himself to 36 off 26. So unmuted now. Nicely set here in position. Casey Summers into the attack for his first over. So the Krusties need 113 at the turn. And exactly as I said, into that slap hit position. It's a 6 first ball for Eel at this end. Takes himself to 43 off 28. He's got to get himself in the shed here, the Eel, and everyone else can just have a crack. But this is exactly what the Krusties were wanting. The turn with the breeze, short end. Does bring Eel on strike. He's on 44 off 30 balls. He's been there since the start. I'd love to see him get in the shed here with one shot down the ground. And there it is. That is Car Park. That is 50. Well batted, Eel firmer. That's the knock that Krusty's needed. One man back in the shed. Now they can move over it. Hunter Phillips stride into the crease at number 4. Gold Cuss Summers back in for his final over. He's 1 for 28 off 3. He got the breakthrough earlier. And that has been spanked. Tennis court. You got to think that he's into the tennis court. Yeah, that's a great shot for Robbie Leschke. Takes himself to 42. Couple more of them, and he'll be back in the sheds, and the Krusties will be well on their way. Just fed into that slap hit position there from Kazi Boulder. Much greater length at the other end for his... But the singles aren't going to be enough. Robbie Leschke on strike here, 43 off 25. Yeah, that's another 6. That is straight. It's going to be caught there. No, it's been dropped in the crowd, but that's a good 6. As I said, this is the short end you can attack. So he's now 49 off 26, Robbie Leschke. Chasing his second 50 of the season if he can get there. He's 49 off... So 66 off 21 metre. They still need 3 a ball, but it's very doable at this end with the breeze. Just need to start hitting some long straight ones. Yeah, chopped on. That's the end of Brody Cook. 3 ball innings, gone for 2. Wayne Sigelman picks up his first wicket. 1 for 20 off his 3 overs. That was a great return to the crease for him with the ball. Very nicely fighted leggy, but that's going down to long on. It's probably going to be caught. And it has not been, and it's been bunted for 4. That's an absolute captain killer and a bowler killer there. So Adam Boston gets himself off the mark. First ball with a 4. Looks like Wayne Singleton down there dropping that catch, but he's probably still doing lower ball sliding down leg. So he kind of just bunted it off the rubber at the bottom of the bat out to a mid-wicket for 1. That's been spanked to cover straight down Benny Keogh's throat, the skipper. He's taken a nice slider, 1 leg, 1 hand catch almost for the lefty out there. Sammy Hancock gets his first wicket, 1 for 23 off his 4 overs. Is a pretty decent spell. Nicely fighted leggy, but there it is, Hunter Phillips. That's what we've been waiting for. He's just put that one straight over Cow for 6. That's 10 off the last 2 balls. They need to go in all 4s and 6s for now. Skipper Rob Krusty Krusvar is out to square leg. Next man in. You've got to think they don't want to see him at the crease today. Hunter Phillips, 21 off 18. Praveen Matthew bowled bloody well earlier. He hasn't faced the pill yet. 44 off 7 needed. So you've got to think they need at least a 4 and a 6 to get this over. He's attempted a ram, he's darted that one in there, and that's the end of Hunter Phillips. He was under the pump knowing that he had to go at 6 or 7 over. Four balls left. And he has hit that one bounce forward, eel firmer. Takes him to need 39 off 3.